everyone. We're going to be beginning in a couple of minutes, literally. We can begin right at 7:01. As soon as I see my first millionaire that gets on to have a discussion. Hi! How you doing, millionaire? I'm going to get to why I'm now calling the viewers millionaires in a brief second. Actually, in one more minute, I'm going to do that. But while we're waiting, just for a second, let's enjoy. I don't know what's happening. Okay, we're back connected. Hi, Ken. How are you, millionaire? Hi, Ken. Yes, Ken is on. Hi, Brianna. How you guys doing? Hello to my millionaires out there. Okay, let me get to it. And I have some more people on. So it is now 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. This topic tonight is going to be very interesting. What we're talking about is going to help a lot of people. All right. So I'm going to cut right to the chase because for some strange reason, I'm not understanding, but my service has really been acting up. And I have Comcast and my bars are up. I don't get it. I promise you I don't. I always say when weird things occur, that's because either the universe is trying to warn you or the dark force of the universe is trying to hinder you from helping someone. Either or, have to keep your spirit open and listen, right? So let's cut right to it. All right, being focused on this evening. As you see, I have army fatigue on from top to bottom, minus the shoes. The shoes are black and white, but you guys can't see that right now, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I am in war mode right now mentally. I am. All right. Ken wants to be added to the video. Ken, I would do that if I could, but I can't. I can't right now. I'm working over here by myself and I want to get all this information out before my phone begins to go haywire. So I'm so sorry, but I will do my best to read the comments if you want to leave some in there. All right. So I have on army fatigue because this topic is, to me, only warriors can handle. All right. We're discussing domestic violence tonight. At first, I wanted to talk about overcoming domestic violence, but then part of me was like, well, how do they overcome it if they first can't even recognize that they're in it? Some of us are dealing with situations right now. We don't even recognize that we're in a domestic violent situation. What you're battling right now is, as you would probably see, as just a little hiccup in a relationship or a friendship, but the truth is domestic violence. So we're going to talk about this evening identifying domestic violence. And as mentioned, the topic was inspired by the film by Tina that aired or whatever about 2 weeks ago. It was phenomenal. If you have not checked it out, go check it out. That film and the documentary on Tina Turner, with her own words being used, and you were able to hear what really occurred or what she wanted to release about the truth about what really occurred. It was better than the film for me. But the biggest part that stuck out to me personally about Tina Turner was her overcoming. She was overcoming all these different obstacles that were in her way. And actually she did an amazing job. She turned out to be better off without Ike. So, but we'll talk about that in the next part when we talk about overcoming domestic violence. On this evening, let's focus on identifying domestic violence as well as the person that is guilty of inflicting another when being violent. All right. So as the song was saying, wait till they see your smile. This topic is not meant to make people feel depressed. It's not meant to throw jabs at someone or shade or to make you feel bad. No, it is to empower you. That's why I have on my soldier wear. It's to empower you to know that this is not your end. You all may be in a domestic violent situation right now as we speak. You don't know why you're continuously staying, but I understand, and we're going to talk about that tonight. All right. So starting off, all right. First of all, let's get the facts straight about domestic violence. Domestic violence can happen to anyone, not just women. It can also happen to men. All right, and we may say, well, now if a man stay and a woman is abusing him, that's a punk. This is da 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 da. But the truth is, no one can judge until you're in that situation. You don't know what you would and would not put up with once your heart and your mind are locked in on believing the truth of this person, that they are good no matter what. Now we're going to get to why you all choose to stay in a few moments. But again, there are cases where men and women are being abused. And they are honestly overlooked, especially the men, because you automatically assume that a man should never take abuse. But the truth is, men are being abused. More than 85% of our population are men that are abusers. But what about the other percentage? So yes, there are women that are unfortunately abusing. Now, also something else to remember too, age plays a part in this. 16 to 24-year-old women are 3 times as likely to be abused. So why does age have something to do with this? It's because when you're young, you're experiencing things. You're naive, you're green to a lot of situations and to the makeup of different psychological issues that humans face that make them into things that they don't even know that they are becoming. So if you know a young lady that's between the ages of 16 and 24, do not discount her worth. Do not talk to her as if like she is as dumb as a box of rocks. Do not do that to her, because unfortunately, her mind is still developing. She's still learning her self-worth. She's at a very fragile state. So it's important for you to have understanding towards her. Now we're going to move on. How can I identify a person that will eventually abuse me? Now that's a great question, Mill. That's a great question. How can you identify a person that will eventually turn into your abuser? Number one, as much as people want to say, that girl should have knew that something was wrong with that man. He just looked angry. His family angry. They just always so angry. The truth is, even a woman that seems as if like she would abuse, one would assume that if the man is really, really small and the woman is rather large, to lack of better words, that just means that, okay, well, because she's larger and he's smaller, then yeah, he get punked. That it has nothing to do with it. No, actually your abuser is very seductive. They lure you in. They lure you in. It seems as if like they understand you and others don't. They're attractive, they're seductive in their speech, and they come with a story. Usually people that are natural healers, in a sense, where you look at people and you see what they lack and you want to provide it, you're usually a target for people that like to abuse. Why? Because you will never see the abuser. You will only see the young boy or the young girl that needs healing, that needs understanding. So when they begin to rough you up and become disrespectful, you don't understand that what they're doing is wrong. Why? Because all you're noticing is that they need healing. They need help. It's really not them. They're just misunderstood. They're really great people, but just sometimes, they become very upset. Your abuser is very seductive and luring. He or she lures you in with I don't want to say a sob story, but with their brokenness, they lure you in. Because not everyone that is an abuser, I'm not going to say it's a sob story. Some of them, they really don't realize they have a problem. So when they're doing things to you, it's not because they think they're bad people. They think that you're the one that has the problem, because now you're acting like those people that mistreated them, misunderstood them. Woe is the victim. In certain situations are really the abusers. Why? Because they never ever want to admit that they have a problem, because they don't think they have a problem. So that's number one. So number one, seductive, right? Seduce and charming. They will charm you. Number two, after you are now connected to them, now you become isolated. They're going to seek to isolate you. They want to separate you from your friends, from your family, anything that you will put above them, or not even above them, but anything else that will have your attention. They seek to what? To get you away from whoever can have your attention. If it's your family, friends, they don't care. All right. Even your children, they do not care. They want to isolate you. When you're isolated, I've always been told this, that the devil's isolated mind is the devil's play shop. You look for silly things to look up, to get involved in, or you just focus directly on that person. So now when you wake up in the morning, you seek what's going to put a smile on their face. When you are, let's say, having a nice afternoon and you're at work, you're thinking about making a meal to prepare for them. When you arrive home, you want to see them enjoy the food. You want to spend more time with them. Everything becomes them. Why? Because you isolated. You don't have no life outside of that. All right. Now, some of you may say, well, only a dummy can get involved in that, because you got to have a life. You know, this is the killer part about being a human, especially in this day and age. We have a lot of people that comment on situations that they have not experienced. You don't know until you are in there. Then you can make that comment to say, well, why did you do that? And even then, you still really can't, because there's a root to every problem and every decision that you make. A lot of our issues stem from childhood, and we won't know it until we get a counselor, till we have therapy and someone that goes inside with you and help you figure that mess out. Yes, I said it. It's mess. A lot of our internal beings are messy. And if you do not take out the needed time to sort it out and stop, let's say, avoiding the elephant in the room, stop avoiding what's there. It's ruining your life. It's inside of you. The reason why you're holding on is because you are looking to heal someone that is broken by something that you did not even do. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You cannot heal someone that is coming to you broken. He or she has to go back within themselves and be healed before putting that responsibility on you. And then also, don't put it on yourself. You can't heal them. So let's understand that you cannot heal that person. And when you're isolated, the only thing you focus on is their healing. The only thing you focus on is making sure that they're never broken again. Okay, they left you, as Tina Turner said in the movie. She stayed as long as she did is because she promised him that she would not leave as the others did. So what happens? She held on. Even in the scene in the film, as well as what was described in her documentary, even when she was just knocked out, I mean, he went in on her, knocking her around in her hair with a shoe and all this other kind of foolishness. She began to comfort the man that just gave her a black eye. Now, we can say she's silly, but again, stop commenting on things that you have not experienced. In her heart and in her mind, she's a healer. She loves this person, and she knows that all his talent has gone overlooked. So now I feel bad for him. I want to prove to him that I am not like the rest of those people. And you just had a little temper tantrum. And now I'm using Tina and Ike to go in with this one. But the truth is, there are a lot of adults in our lives, for those of us that are in these situations but don't want to call it that. If it seems like they are having a temper tantrum just because they don't get their way, that is usually signs of a person that is an abuser. They believe that they are always entitled, as we talked about last week, entitled to always get their way. So when they don't get their way, and it can be something as large as an accommodation on an airplane, or something as small as mayonnaise on their sandwich, they become enraged and ready to knock your head off. Now, because you didn't get this, because they put mayonnaise on your sandwich and you didn't want mayonnaise. I told you not to get mayonnaise, and now they're throwing the food. They are knocking you upside your head. You're getting reminded of you not being intelligent because you forgot to put mayonnaise on a sandwich, or because you forgot to tell them no mayonnaise. Some of you may be like, mayonnaise, Millie, for real, mayonnaise? Yes, baby. Something as small as mayonnaise will get your face beat in when you're dealing with an abuser. All right? So again, we're not judging tonight. Tonight is not for judgment. If you want to judge, don't watch. I have an understanding heart. Some of you all may say, why? I have definitely experienced this before. Definitely. And it hit me as a ton of bricks when I began to do my research on domestic violence. And I'm like, whoa, I remember. And the reason why I didn't recognize it as domestic violence is because, you know, the way I'm raised, if my mother told me, if someone hits you, you hit them back, right? But don't start no fights. I don't start fights. But I for darn sure step to the stage when it's brought to me. Yes, I will do that. No problem. However, I thought that because I was stepping to the stage, that, hey, we just showing that we love each other. You know, a muff here, a muff there, whatever. You know, I'm getting back in with them. But the truth is, that was domestic violence. I stayed because I wanted to prove that I wasn't like everyone else. I really love you. If I say I got your back, I got your back, which is true, right? In terms of me being a loyal person, us being loyal people. But in time, you learn your first loyalty is to yourself. You have to love yourself enough to be loyal to what is good for you. And that goes for across the board, from relationships to friendships to platonic to relationships that actually are a little bit extra, that are more, that no matter what it is, across the board, they need to respect you. You have to respect them. Just because the mere fact that they lift up their hand to hit you should make you want to back away. All right? Don't get caught into this. Well, you know, we just be playing around. You know, he put me in a headlock, but he loved me. You know, he just pushed me. You know, he just bruised up my arm. We just fought and he punched me in the chest and I punched him back. And I got a bruise on my chest and he got a bruise on him. Oh, but we love each other though. I'm telling you, we good. We good. He got me, I got him. No, that's not love. That's not love. The mere fact of someone placing their hands on you is a very big indication that you don't need to be there. And the mere fact of you placing your hands on them, you don't need to be there. Because one push could be your last push, free, as a free person. Think about it like that too. That one push that you do could make someone go back as far to hit their head on the corner of a desk. Now you looking at time. Now you're locked up for the rest of your life because you did not pay attention to the warning signs. And that is the third warning sign I really wanted to go into. They always, after they seduce you with their charm, after they isolate you, then they have the first initial attack. And usually that first attack, you forgive them for it. Baby, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put my hands on you. You know, I love you too much. I never should have. You fall for it. You fall for it. You do. Honey, I'm sorry. It's just that I seen my dad hitting my mom. And, you know, that's just, I'm like my daddy. I just like to I like to put my hands on someone when I'm mad at them, when they make me frustrated. I just want to hit things. But you know I love you. You know, you're so good to me. Let me buy you something. Where you want to go? What's your favorite meal? I mean, I'm telling you, boom, they selling it. When they trying to get back with you, everything is what you want to hear. Everything. Every little thing. And guess what? What do? Go back. So now that we have went back, we assume that it's going to become better. It's going to become better because, you know, he human. People make mistakes. You don't know what he's seen growing up. You know, his mom could have taken that from his dad, or you know, his dad could have went through that. And you know, he just gets so frustrated because he's so misunderstood, and I love him so much. So after the first initial strike, you go back. thinking that you're going back to change behavior, but the truth is now you just taught them how to treat you. Now nothing is going to ever become better. Every situation will become worse. We're talking about domestic violence, not just domestic violence, but also mental abuse. A lot of that is now mental, because after you go back that first time dealing with domestic violence, now they know they got your mind. And when you have someone's mind, ooh, woo, you a powerful mother. I'm serious. I would say the other, but I want to watch my language. The truth is, you are powerful when you have someone's mind. So now you have allowed them to have your mind after going back after that first initial incident. And again, I'm talking from a place of, I understand because I've been there. I've been there. What you see on this camera, what you may see in church, for my students that watch on YouTube, which I'm getting to that at the end of this, what you all may see at school, what you may tell your parents about. Miss Griffin, Millicent, Millie, Mill, Moxie, all the different little names that I go by here and there, was once lost. I was once in a horrible situation like that. I was between the ages of 16 and 24. I dealt with that. And unfortunately, that low self-esteem shaped my early 20s and some of my mid-20s and a little late 20s, a little bit, just a little bit. And it shaped my mind where I was lost. I was lost. I was isolated, without hope, mentally being abused. First physically, mentally being abused. However, do I look at the abuser and point it out? Do I even bring it up? What's the point? No. To be honest with you, it's not that all is well on a certain level where I allow it to continue to happen. But when you're free from it, what's the point of mentioning it? Unless it's to help free someone else. There's no need to talk about it. What I'm talking about it for is not because I feel like I'm looking stupid. It's because at that point in my life, I love someone more than I love myself. I allowed that. So you first have to stop being a victim. Stop being a victim. They're not the bad person. They're not this. They're not that. Tina Turner did not become who she later became from 40 on up to now to 81 or 82 years old by being the victim. She overcame by stop pointing the finger at her ex-husband, and she established herself. So, Millie, you, anyone else, in order to no longer be victims and to always want sympathy and pity, like, oh, he did this, he said this, no, cut all that mess out. If the person's not respecting you, you know how to alleviate, with children, without children. Do what you got to do. Whatever's taken away from your peace, remove it, period. And it's easier said than done. I need them for the da-da-da-da. God will provide. God will provide. You don't need them for child support. You don't need them to pay your car note. You don't need any of that. And to be honest with you, a part of your healing and getting over, which we're going to talk about this next week with overcoming domestic abuse, is becoming established. You have to become established, because when you're always depending on someone else to fit the bill or to foot the bill, and to take care of everything, you never develop any inner strength. You never realize how strong you are, because you're constantly going to them to bail you out, and they want that. Abusers want to feel needed. Half of the abusers are needed. You need them for something. Either it's to feel like you are bringing good to the world, or whether you need them to pay a bill, whether you need them to give the love to them that you wish someone gave to you. Whatever it is, you need them for something. So remove what you need. That's not God. That's all you need. Now, that's the truth. You don't need your children. You don't need your spouse. You don't need any of the, you need God. Where is God, Mill? Is he in the sky looking down? No, he's right within you. Get to yourself. So a part of you overcoming, which we're going to talk about next week. I want to get to the overcoming. Well, a part of you overcoming is going within. It's not easy. So we're going to talk about that next week. You're going to feel silly. You're going to be around people that don't understand your pain because they haven't experienced it. They have all the secrets and no ingredients. You know what I'm saying? They have like, oh, well, yeah, they said put this in there, put that in there, put that in there. But when you go in their cabinet to reach out, you end up having to go to the store and buy it yourself anyway. They don't have nothing within them. But they telling you how to make something. Stop. Just be quiet. Be quiet. Until you go through something and you come out as a victor, don't say nothing to me in that area. If you still don't understand how it feels to truly feel like you're doing the world some good by staying with someone that is purposely manipulating your love, don't say nothing. And again, it all starts somewhere. It all starts somewhere. So again, I want to talk about the overcoming, because now my time is drawing out. I have 5 minutes left. I want to talk about the overcoming domestic violence. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to do that next week. I am. I'm going to do that next week. Why? Because you first have to identify it. You have to identify, how the heck are you still there? Why did you choose to stay when you should have chosen to leave? It's because you were seduced, you were isolated, and then that first initial attack gained mind control that you were going to forgive them for whatever they did, because they were broken and they need you to heal them. Because you understand that they really good. Underneath all that hate that they spew out is really love that's misunderstood. Don't feel silly. I promise you. And if I'm coming across as if like I'm speaking of you in a condescending way, I apologize, because I am not. I'm coming to you as one that was once down. I'm coming to you as one that was once in a situation like that. And I will not air names, because that's foolish. Drama. We don't do drama. Victors don't do drama. Millionaires don't do drama. We don't do that. But we do healing. True healing from within. We do understanding. We don't judge either, because you realize everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. And when I will listen to someone, and when I will talk to someone, I would rather talk to a person that has went through and overcome versus someone that's still there or never experienced it at all. Because there is some strength and some inner peace that is produced when you go through it, and when you live to tell the story about how you have overcome it. So next week is going to be about overcoming. Now, if you are in a domestic violence situation, I have the number for you. It is 1-800-799-SAFE. Spell the word SAFE. Again, 1-800-799-SAFE. Call them. They're 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call them. Again, just as we spoke about when we were talking about, unfortunately, the child that was being abused, right? The sexual abuse. When we were talking about that, sometimes you don't have anyone around you that you can really confide in. I understand. I do. I understand. And the truth is, you probably shouldn't confide in those people, because some of those people will throw it back in your face the first chance that you get. Well, we're going to talk about that next week when we talk about overcoming it. Okay? Yeah. I want to jump to it. Why? Because I'm living it. That's why. And it's peaceful. It's nice. I love it. I love who I have become. I love what God is doing in me. What he has already done. Because he undid a lot. Like, real talk. But he's doing more. And I want to share my good news. I want to hear your stories. Please inbox me. Like, let me know about your success so I can tell others. Anyone that knows me personally, and a lot of you don't, but let me tell you, let me open you up to my mind and my personality. I will brag on the good in your life as if it's mine. Why? Because the world needs to hear more good and not bad. You will continue to stay in an abusive relationship, domestic abusive relationship, if you feel like there's no life after that person, because you only hear the negative. There are overcomers. So please tune in next week. Also, YouTube. Yes, I'm on YouTube. We are on YouTube. The millionaires are on YouTube. Woo! Goes the crowd. TheRealWithMill. You can find it on YouTube. No spaces. Just straight through. TheRealWithMill. go to YouTube and subscribe. This video will be up there later on this evening. Go subscribe and share if you enjoyed the information given out. Again, this platform is meant to be a beacon of hope and light to build, empower, improve, as well as guide all that listen. It's not just for men, it's not just for women, it's not just for adults, it's also for children. I'm just trying to help humanity. That's all I want to do. That's all millionaires want to do. The millionaires are the viewers of The Real with Mill. So when you come up to me and say, Mill, I enjoyed that topic, I refer to you as a millionaire. You're a millionaire. It just so happens that Mill is found a millionaire. So I speak blessings over your life, and I hope that you receive it. You are a living God, walking God. So whatever you have, you do have. Whatever you say, you do have. All right? Whatever you have is because you spoke it. How about it? That's the truth about it. Tap into your inner God, and that's how you're going to overcome. But we're going to talk about that next week. And Millie is going to be quiet because I'm going to spoil the darn show for next week. But again, unfortunately, if you're dealing with domestic abuse, please call 1-800-799-SAFE. S-A-F-E. SAFE. 1-800-799-SAFE. And if you were not told today, now you know that you are loved, because I love you very, very much. And I pray that God continues to strengthen you in your endeavors to get out of your domestic abusive situation. Please inbox me for prayer or just for some counseling. I'm here to help the world. Have an awesome evening and be safe out there. If you're in the Chicagoland area, it is raining. Why don't you go in and take a nap or something? Get some sleep, because this rain is draining. I love you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.